Don't scroll away, because what I'm about to tell you may explain the questions you've carried for years. You think you found this message, but the truth is, this message found you. Not by accident, not by coincidence, and not because an algorithm decided it. Before this day began, I already knew you would be here. I watched every silent battle you fought, every tear you wiped away before anyone could see it, every night you whispered, Lord, are you still with me? And today, I finally want you to hear my answer. I never left. Stay with me until the end. Because before this message is over, you'll understand why some doors closed, why some prayers seemed unanswered, why your heart refused to give up, and why your greatest season has been quietly preparing itself while you believed nothing was changing. Take a deep breath, open your heart, and listen carefully, because I am speaking to you now. My beloved child, you have spent so much time wondering whether I still see you. You smiled in front of people while carrying storms inside your heart. You encouraged others while secretly feeling exhausted yourself. Many nights you lay awake asking questions that no one else ever heard. You wondered if your prayers were reaching heaven. You wondered if your waiting had any purpose. Sometimes you even questioned whether I had forgotten your name. But I never forgot you. Not for 1 second. Long before you woke up this morning. Long before your heart became tired. Long before this season of waiting ever began. I already knew every step you would take. I knew every disappointment, every betrayal, every lonely moment, every silent victory that nobody celebrated. While others only saw your smile, I saw your hidden tears. While people assumed you were strong, I knew how close you came to giving up. And still, you kept walking, not because you always felt brave, but because somewhere deep inside you, hope refused to die. That quiet hope was my gift to you, even when you couldn't feel my presence. I was holding your future together. There were moments you called failure, but I called them preparation. There were closed doors that made you cry, but I closed them because they would have broken your heart later. You thought I was delaying you. In reality, I was protecting you. There are things I never allowed into your life because they would have stolen your peace. You may never know every danger I turned away. You may never see every battle that ended before it reached your door. But one day, everything will make sense. My child, do you remember those moments when you almost quit? When everything inside you wanted to stop trying? When the pressure felt heavier than your strength? I remember every one of them. I remember the prayers you couldn't even finish, the tears that fell before sleep, the mornings when getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. And still, you got up. You kept moving. You kept believing, even if your faith felt no bigger than a whisper. Never underestimate quiet faith. The world celebrates loud victories, but heaven notices faithful hearts. I never measured your life by how many people applauded you. I measured it by how many times you chose love instead of bitterness, forgiveness instead of revenge, hope instead of despair. Those moments mattered, far more than you realize. You often asked me, Lord, when will my breakthrough come? My answer has always been the same. Right on time. Not your time, not the world's time, but the perfect time. Because blessings given too early become burdens, and doors opened too soon can lead people into places they were never ready to carry. That is why I have been shaping your character before changing your circumstances. Because success without wisdom destroys people. Favor without humility blinds people. But you, I have been building slowly, carefully, patiently. Every delay has been part of my design. Every unanswered question has been teaching your heart to trust without seeing. And trust is becoming your greatest strength. My beloved child, there is something I need you to understand today. You are not who your pain says you are. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are not the voices that told you that you would never be enough. Those voices never came from me. From the beginning, I called you loved, chosen, valuable, created with purpose, even when you doubted yourself. I never doubted what I placed inside you. You keep looking at what you lost. I keep looking at who you are becoming. That is the difference between my vision and yours. You see today, I see tomorrow. You see disappointment. I see preparation. You see delay. I see protection. And before this story continues, I want you to remember one truth that can change everything. Your story is not ending where your pain began. It is only beginning. Because what I have prepared for your future is greater than anything your past tried to steal. So don't lose heart. Don't stop believing. Don't mistake silence for absence. Even when you couldn't hear my voice, I was already making a way. And my child, this is only the beginning of what I want to tell you. My beloved child, There were days when you looked around and quietly asked, Lord, why does it feel like nothing is changing? You watched time pass. Weeks became months. Months became years. People around you seemed to move ahead while your own life felt frozen. You wondered if heaven had become silent. You wondered if I had forgotten the promises I placed inside your heart. But listen carefully. Silence is not the same as absence. When a seed is buried beneath the soil, it appears lifeless. No one applauds it. No one celebrates it. Yet beneath the surface, something extraordinary is happening. Roots are growing before branches ever appear. That is exactly what I have been doing in your life. While you searched for visible progress, I was building invisible strength. While you asked me to change your circumstances, I was transforming your heart. Because changed circumstances without a changed heart never bring lasting peace. I care about more than your comfort. I care about who you become. My child, there were prayers I answered with "not yet." Not because I wanted you to suffer, but because I loved you too much to give you something before you were ready to carry it. If I had opened certain doors too early, they would have crushed you. If I had removed every struggle immediately, you would never have discovered the strength I placed inside you. The storm you feared became the classroom that shaped your character. The waiting you disliked became the place where wisdom quietly grew. You thought you were standing still, but heaven never stopped working. Every delay had purpose. Every disappointment carried a lesson. Every closed door redirected your steps towards something better. There were opportunities that looked perfect, yet they would have stolen your peace. There were relationships that seemed promising, yet they would have slowly pulled you away from your purpose. So I closed those doors, not to punish you, but to protect you. One day you will thank me for the prayers I did not answer, because sometimes my greatest blessing is the thing I lovingly refuse to give. My child, do you know why you survived seasons that should have broken you? It wasn't because you were stronger than everyone else. It was because my hand remained upon your life even when you couldn't feel it. There were nights when fear whispered louder than hope. There were mornings when anxiety tried to convince you that nothing good was ahead. Yet something deep inside you refused to surrender. That quiet resistance was my spirit reminding your heart that your story was not finished. Even when your mind was full of questions, I was filling your future with answers. You simply couldn't see them yet. You measured your life by what had not happened. I measured it by what I was preventing. There are dangers you never noticed, mistakes you almost made, words you almost spoke, decisions that nearly changed everything. But I gently slowed your steps. Sometimes I allowed delays. Sometimes I removed people. Sometimes I changed your plans without explaining why. You thought those moments were setbacks. I called them mercy. Because, my child, not every opportunity is your assignment. Not every open door leads to life. Discernment often feels like disappointment before it becomes understanding. I know the future. You do not. That is why I ask you to trust me. Trust does not grow when everything makes sense. Trust grows when love chooses to remain even without all the answers. You have been learning that kind of faith. A faith that does not depend on perfect circumstances. A faith that keeps walking even when the road disappears into fog. That faith is precious. Never believe it is wasted. My beloved child, I have watched your heart carefully. I saw the moments when no one thanked you, when your kindness was ignored, when your loyalty was taken for granted. You wanted to ask, does any of this matter? Yes, every act of love matters. Every quiet decision to forgive matters. Every time you chose honesty over convenience. Heaven noticed. The world often celebrates what is loud, but I celebrate what is faithful. Faithfulness changes lives long before success becomes visible. You may not realize it now, but people are watching your life. Not because you are perfect, but because your endurance gives them hope. One day your story will become someone else's reason not to give up. Your scars will remind another person that healing is possible. Your testimony will shine where your pain once lived. Nothing you have endured has been meaningless. Nothing has been wasted. Even your tears have become part of the story I am writing. My child, stop comparing your journey to anyone else's. Comparison steals joy. Comparison blinds you to your own blessings. I created your path differently because yours is different. Someone else's timing is not your timing. Someone else's calling is not your calling. Walk the road I prepared for you, not the one that impresses people. Because the safest place you can ever be is where my will leads you. There is coming a day when you will look back at this season. You will remember the waiting, the uncertainty, the loneliness, and you will smile. Not because it was easy, but because you will finally understand why I allowed it. You will see connections you cannot see today. You will recognize protection where you once saw delay. You will discover blessings hidden inside disappointments. And your heart will whisper, "Now I understand." Until that day arrives, keep walking, keep praying, keep trusting, even if your steps are small, even if your faith feels weak, even if you cannot see tomorrow, because I can, and I have never stopped leading you. My child, the story is only beginning. Everything I have allowed has been preparing you for what comes next. There is something your heart has carried for a long time. Not just the pain of what happened, but the pain of who left. You have asked me many times, asterisk, Lord, why did they walk away? Asterisk, asterisk, why did they change? Asterisk, asterisk, why did someone I trusted suddenly become a stranger? Asterisk, I heard every one of those questions. And today, I want you to hear my answer. Not every goodbye was meant to wound you. Some goodbyes were meant to rescue you. You saw rejection. I saw redirection. You saw an ending. I saw a beginning you could not yet imagine. There were people you prayed would stay forever. You invested your time, your loyalty, your compassion. You believed they would walk beside you through every season. But not everyone assigned to a chapter is assigned to the entire story. Some people are part of the lesson. Others are part of the destination. Learning the difference is wisdom. My child, I know it hurt when people misunderstood your heart. You never wanted to lose them. You searched for answers. You replayed conversations. You wondered if you should have said something differently. You questioned yourself more than anyone else ever did. But listen carefully. Not every broken relationship is your fault. Sometimes people leave because they are following a path that no longer aligns with mine for your life. Sometimes I remove what your heart is unwilling to release. Not because I want to empty your life, but because I want to fill it with what truly belongs there. You cannot receive everything I have prepared while holding tightly to everything that was never meant to remain. Empty hands often become the place where new blessings are received. My child, do you remember how some doors closed without warning? Plans suddenly changed. Opportunities disappeared. Conversations ended. Dreams seemed to fall apart. At the time, you thought everything was working against you, but heaven was working for you. There were conversations I prevented because they would have led you into confusion. There were invitations I allowed you to miss because they carried hidden consequences. There were friendships that quietly faded because they would have distracted you from your purpose. You called those moments loss. I called them protection. You have not seen every danger I turned away. There are stories you never lived because my grace stood between you and unnecessary pain. That is mercy, my beloved child. Forgiveness has been one of your greatest battles. You wanted justice. You wanted explanations. You wanted someone to acknowledge how deeply they hurt you. Those feelings are understandable. But if you allow bitterness to stay, it begins to build walls around your own heart. Bitterness promises protection. Instead, it becomes a prison. That is why I keep inviting you to forgive. Not because what happened was acceptable. Not because your pain was imaginary. But because I refuse to let someone else's choices control your future. Forgiveness is not pretending nothing happened. It is choosing freedom over resentment. It is placing justice in my hands instead of carrying it yourself. And my child, I am far better at justice than anger ever will be. You do not have to carry what was never yours to carry. Lay it down. Let me hold it. Let me heal what people could not. There are wounds only my love can reach. There are empty places only my presence can fill. And I am already working there. Even now, while you listen, while you breathe, while you quietly wonder what tomorrow holds. My child, do not fear being alone. Some seasons require solitude before they reveal purpose. Solitude is not abandonment. It is often preparation. When the noise became quiet, you finally began hearing my voice more clearly. When distractions disappeared, your heart started noticing what truly mattered. When familiar faces walked away, you discovered that my presence had never left. I have been closer than your next breath, closer than your fears, closer than your doubts, closer than every tear you believed no one noticed. I have never turned my face away from you, and I never will. There is a future waiting that will not be built on fear. It will be built on peace. Not because life becomes perfect, but because your confidence will rest in me instead of changing circumstances. You are becoming stronger than you realize. Not harder, not colder, stronger with compassion, stronger with wisdom, stronger with patience. That kind of strength lasts. My beloved child, The people who truly belong in your life will never require you to become someone I did not create. You will never have to betray your values to earn genuine love. You will never need to abandon your integrity to keep the right people beside you. Those who are meant to walk with you will recognize the light I placed inside you. Be patient. Do not force doors that what I have not to see. Do not fear delays that are protecting your future. Trust me, even when you cannot see the entire road. Because I can, and I have already gone before you. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep loving. Your greatest chapter has not been written yet. And every painful goodbye has been making room for a beautiful hello that arrives in my perfect time. There is something I want you to understand today. Many of the greatest battles in your life were never the ones you could see. You thought the struggle was only about difficult people, about unanswered prayers, about closed doors, about the pressure you carried each day. But beneath everything you experienced, a deeper battle was taking place. A battle for your hope, a battle for your peace, a battle for your identity. The enemy did not only want to make your life difficult, he wanted to convince you that you were forgotten. He wanted you to believe that your prayers no longer mattered. He wanted fear to speak louder than faith. But my child, you are still here, and that alone is evidence that my hand has been upon your life. There were mornings when anxiety greeted you before anyone else did. Before your feet touched the floor, your mind was already carrying tomorrow's worries. You smiled for others while quietly carrying questions inside. No one saw how much strength it took just to keep moving. But I saw every silent prayer, every tear you hid, every moment you whispered, Lord, please help me through one more day. I heard every word, even the prayers that never left your lips. Because I know the language of the heart. My beloved, do you remember the times you almost made a decision out of fear? You wanted to run. You wanted to quit. You wanted to choose the fastest escape from your pain. Yet something inside you kept saying, wait a little longer. That quiet whisper was not your imagination. It was my guidance. I was protecting you from decisions that would have brought temporary relief, but lasting regret. Sometimes my greatest miracle is not opening a new door. Sometimes it is giving you the strength to stay where you are until the right door appears. Waiting has never been punishment. Waiting has always been preparation. My child, you often asked why the road became so difficult. The answer is not because I abandoned you. The answer is because difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Gold is refined through fire. A tree grows stronger because of the wind. A diamond is formed under pressure. In the same way, your soul has been growing stronger through every challenge you faced. Not because suffering is good, but because I never waste anything placed in my hands. Even your pain has become part of your purpose. Even your tears have watered seeds that are still growing beneath the surface. You cannot see them yet, but they are growing. Quietly, faithfully, exactly as I intended. My beloved child, stop believing the lie that you have fallen behind. You are not behind. You are exactly where I have been shaping you. The world measures success by speed. I measure it by faithfulness. The world celebrates people who arrive first. Heaven celebrates people who remain faithful until the finish. Never confuse delay with defeat. Never confuse silence with absence. Never confuse hardship with rejection. I have been with you every step of the way. Even in the moments when you questioned everything. There were nights when you believed nothing was happening. Yet those were the very nights I was strengthening your heart. There were days when you thought your prayers had gone unanswered. Yet I was arranging circumstances you could not yet see. Pieces were moving together. People were being positioned. Doors were quietly opening in places you had never looked. The answer was already on its way, before you finished asking the question. That is how my love works. I prepare before you understand. I provide before you recognize the need. I protect before danger ever arrives. My child, do not let disappointment become your identity. You experienced disappointment, but you are not disappointment. You experienced failure, but you are not a failure. You experienced rejection, but you are not rejected. Your identity has never been determined by what happened to you. It has always been determined by the one who created you. And I created you with purpose, with dignity, with hope, with a future greater than your fears. When the voices of doubt become loud, return to my voice. When fear tells you nothing will change, remember my promises. When discouragement tells you to stop, take one more faithful step. Because one faithful step often changes the direction of an entire life. My beloved child, there is a season approaching that will not look like the one you've been living. Not because every problem disappears overnight, but because you will begin to see with new eyes. The things that once frightened you will no longer control you. The things that once broke your heart will become reminders of how far I have brought you. The things that once made you question your future will become testimonies of my faithfulness. Trust me a little longer, Obey. Walk with me a little longer. The sunrise always arrives after the darkest part of the night, and your dawn is closer than you think. So lift your eyes. There were many moments when you believed you had lost too much to ever recover. You looked behind you and saw broken dreams. You looked around you and saw uncertainty. You looked ahead and wondered if anything beautiful was still waiting for you. I understand those feelings. I never ignored your questions. I never dismissed your tears. Every time your heart whispered, "Lord, is it too late?" I was already preparing an answer, and my answer has always been the same. No, it is not too late. Asterisk, asterisk. I am not limited by the time you think you have lost. I am not defeated by the mistakes you regret. I am not surprised by the failures that still trouble your mind. I have always known every chapter of your story, even the pages you wish you could erase, even the decisions that still make you lower your head. My child, do not allow your past to become louder than my promise. The past can teach you, but it was never meant to imprison you. Too many people keep reliving yesterday until they no longer notice the hope standing in front of them. I did not create you to live chained to regret. I created you to walk in freedom. That freedom begins when you believe that my grace is greater than your guilt. There are things you still blame yourself for, moments you replay over and over, conversations you wish had ended differently, choices you wish you could undo. I know, I saw every one of those moments, but I also saw something else. I saw the person you were becoming through them. You were learning wisdom. You were learning humility. You were learning compassion for others who struggle. Nothing that is surrendered into my hands is ever wasted. Not even your failures. Not even your tears. Not even the years that seem lost. I can build beauty from broken pieces. I can bring peace where fear once lived. I can restore what seemed impossible to recover. My beloved child, you often think restoration means receiving back exactly what was lost. Sometimes it does, but many times my restoration is greater. I do not always return the same thing. I often replace it with something healthier, something stronger, something that fits the person you have become. Because you are not the same person you were years ago. Pain has changed you. Waiting has matured you. Grace has softened your heart. You are stronger now than you realize. Not because life has been easy, but because my presence has carried you through what once seemed impossible. There is a quiet confidence growing inside you. You may not notice it yet, but you no longer react the way you once did. You no longer panic as quickly. You no longer allow every opinion to define your worth. That is growth. That is healing. That is my work within you. My child, do not become discouraged because your transformation happens slowly. The strongest trees grow over many years. The deepest rivers are formed one drop at a time. In the same way, I have been shaping your heart patiently. Real change is rarely loud. It often happens quietly, day after day, prayer after prayer, choice after choice. You may feel like nothing extraordinary has happened, yet if you look back honestly, you will see that you are no longer who you once were. The fears that once controlled you have weakened. The anger that once consumed you has begun to fade. The hopelessness that once felt permanent has started losing its voice. That is restoration already beginning. My beloved, do not fear tomorrow. You have spent enough time worrying about what might happen. Come back to today, this moment, this breath. I am already present here. Tomorrow belongs to me. Your responsibility is not to carry every possible outcome. Your responsibility is simply to walk with me one faithful step at a time. When tomorrow arrives, my grace will already be waiting there, just as it met you yesterday, just as it meets you now. I have never asked you to carry the future alone. I have only asked you to trust the one who already stands in it. My child, soon you will begin to recognize blessings that once seemed invisible. You will notice doors opening naturally instead of being forced. You will meet people who bring peace instead of confusion. You will discover opportunities that match the gifts I placed within you. And when those moments come, remember this season. Remember the waiting. Remember the prayers. Remember the tears. Not to stay in the past, but to celebrate how faithfully I brought you through it. One day you will tell someone, I almost gave up, but God carried me. Your testimony will become another person's hope. Your healing will become someone else's encouragement. Your story will remind another weary heart that light still exists after darkness. That is why I never wasted your pain. It became part of a greater purpose. My beloved child, the road ahead is brighter than the road behind. Do not lose courage, not because life will be perfect, but because you will no longer walk it alone. I have always been beside you. I am beside you now, and I will remain beside you until the very end. So keep believing, keep loving, keep trusting. The season of restoration has already begun. If you could see your life through my eyes for just one moment, your fear would begin to fade. You have spent so much time looking at what went wrong that you have forgotten to notice everything that went right. Every morning you wake up is evidence that my purpose for you is still alive. Every breath you take is a reminder that I have not finished writing your story. Do not believe the lie that your best days are behind you. They are not. There is still joy you have not experienced, peace you have not yet discovered, people you have not yet met, prayers that are already moving toward their answer. You have been standing at the edge of a new season without realizing it. Sometimes the sunrise begins before the world notices the light. That is where you are now. You may still see shadows, but dawn has already begun. My child, I know you have grown tired. Waiting can exhaust the strongest heart. You have prayed when no answer seemed to come. You have remained faithful when nobody applauded your faith. You have chosen kindness when bitterness would have been easier. You have forgiven people who never apologized. You have loved when your own heart needed healing. None of those choices were invisible to me. I saw every sacrifice, every quiet act of obedience, every moment you chose truth instead of comfort. Those moments became seeds planted in eternity, and seeds always produce a harvest in their proper season. Do not dig them up because they have not appeared yet. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the one who planted hope inside you. My beloved, there were moments when you believed I was far away, but I was closer than your heartbeat. When you cried in silence, I listened. When you felt abandoned, I remained beside you. When you questioned your worth, I continued calling you my beloved child. Nothing you experienced changed my love for you. Nothing you suffered made me walk away. Nothing you regret made me stop caring. My love has never depended on your perfection. It has always rested upon my faithfulness. That is why you are still standing today. Not because you were never weak, but because my strength carried you through your weakness. My child, do not allow fear to steal tomorrow's peace. Fear enjoys telling stories that never happen. It fills your mind with imagined failures, imagined losses, imagined endings. But I did not create you to live under the weight of what if. I created you to walk by faith. Faith is not pretending problems do not exist. Faith is trusting that I remain greater than every problem you will ever face. So when fear knocks at your heart, answer it with trust. When anxiety speaks loudly, return to my promises. When uncertainty surrounds you, remember that I already know the ending from the beginning. Nothing surprises me. Nothing catches me unprepared. Your future has never been out of my hands. My beloved child, the world may measure your value by your success, by your achievements, by your popularity, but heaven measures your life differently. I see your integrity. I see your compassion. I see the kindness you offered when no one thanked you. I see the forgiveness that cost you deeply. I see the prayers whispered in secret. I see the hope you protected when everything around you encouraged despair. Those are treasures that never fade. Those are victories the world cannot measure. Never believe your life has been ordinary. Every act of faithfulness has echoed through eternity. My child, the chapter ahead will require courage. Not because I am sending you into danger alone, but because growth always asks us to leave familiar places. There are blessings waiting beyond your comfort zone. There are miracles waiting beyond your fear. There are answers waiting beyond your patience. Keep walking, even if your steps feel small. Even if your heart still carries questions, I will guide you, one step, one day, one season at a time. And when you finally look back, you will understand that every delay, every tear, every unanswered prayer, every closed door was leading you towards something far greater than you could imagine. So do not lose hope. Do not stop praying. Do not stop believing, because I have already gone before you. The path is prepared. The purpose is alive. And your greatest chapter, before these words come to an end, there is one truth I want you to carry with you for the rest of your life. No matter where you go, no matter what tomorrow brings, you will never walk alone. There will still be days when questions remain unanswered. There will still be moments when life feels heavy. There will still be seasons when you cannot see the next step. But never mistake my silence for my absence. Even when you cannot hear my voice, my hand is still leading you. Even when your eyes cannot see the road, I already know where it leads. My child, you have spent too much time believing you must carry every burden by yourself. You were never created to live that way. Bring your fears to me. Bring your disappointments to me. Bring your failures, your doubts, your unanswered questions. I am not waiting for a perfect version of you. I am waiting for the real you. The one who is tired. The one who is still healing. The one who still hopes, even after heartbreak. That is the person I love, and nothing will ever change that. My beloved, one day you will look back on this season and realize that the moments you thought were breaking you were actually building you. The nights that felt endless taught you perseverance. The delays taught you patience. The disappointments taught you wisdom. The tears softened your heart instead of hardening it. You did not lose everything. You gained a deeper understanding of my faithfulness. Never regret the seasons that made you stronger. They were not wasted. They became part of the foundation for everything I will do through your life. My child, as you move forward, remember these simple truths. Choose kindness, even when the world chooses anger. Choose forgiveness, even when revenge seems easier. Choose hope, even when fear speaks loudly. Choose truth, even when lies appear more comfortable. These choices may seem small, but they shape the person you become. And the person you become is more important than anything you achieve. Do not chase approval. Do not measure your worth by comparison. Your value was never determined by people. It was established by my love long before anyone knew your name. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not without purpose. You are my beloved child. Walk with confidence, not because life will always be easy, but because my presence will always be enough. When you fall, I will lift you. When you grow weary, I will strengthen you. When you are uncertain, I will guide you. When joy returns, I will rejoice with you. And when difficult days come again, remember this moment. Remember that I promised never to leave you. Hold on to hope. Keep your heart open. Continue to love. Continue to trust. Continue to walk forward, one faithful step at a time. The story I am writing in your life is far from over. The chapters ahead hold new mercy, new strength, new opportunities, and deeper peace than you have yet imagined. Do not be afraid of tomorrow. I am already there, and my love will meet you before your fears ever can. Now, before you leave, take one quiet moment. Close your eyes if you can. Breathe deeply. Thank me for the strength that carried you through yesterday. Trust me with today, and place tomorrow safely in my hands. May my peace guard your heart. May my wisdom guide your decisions. May my love remind you every day that you are never alone. Walk forward with courage. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward knowing that I am with you. Today, tomorrow, and always.